Mic check. I think we're good on the audio. Visibility. Yo, are we live? I see there's someone in the chat. My apologies. I'm actually have no idea how to stream, guys. I have absolutely no idea how to stream. I was just setting it up, but I am, I guess, live to the public. I'm going to be ending the stream very soon because I do not mean to do this, and I need to, I need to set it up a lot better. Looking at silver today though. How can I get my chat? You know what? Let me see if I can. Guys, I am so new to this. I'm extremely new to this. I'm seeing 8 Ram in the chat. And Black J. Yo, guys, can you just tell me if the stream looks clear or not? How is the video? Whoa. On my end, it's like literally so laggy. Maybe my preview screen is just very delayed. Audio sounds good. Looks clean. Okay, nice. Great comms, guys. You guys are the first ever people to be in a CJ live stream, so this is a moment in lore. Gonna remember you guys. Didn't even really mean to go live. My community doesn't even know I'm live. But okay, it's looking clean. Is anyone in this trade? I didn't have the best entry, but that entry came at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. my time. I want to talk about this trade though, because this was one of the most high probability trades we've seen, I think, in a minute. Yo, we have another one, another person joining. Usma Kappa, welcome, brother. I didn't even mean to live stream. I'm going to be starting to live stream. I just got OBS, so bear with me. I'm going to end the stream in a second as well. But we will do an official stream soon. Usma Kappa, let me know if the recording is clear. Like, I want to make sure that the candles are really crisp. I want to make sure that the audio is sounding good. Let me know in the chat, guys. I already asked, I think, but let me know in the chat if everything is looking clear. I was using OBS to stream, not to stream, but to try to make a video yesterday, and the candles just weren't looking very crisp to me. I'm going to start making a lot more YouTube videos, but I'm going to use QuickTime Player, I think, because it's a lot clearer of a capture than OBS. But hopefully the stream is looking clear. Let me know, are any of you guys are all TCT members, I believe, or at least all Wyckoff traders. Are any of you guys in this GBP play? Let me know. Let me know. My entry, not the best though. Only was able to catch the retest. There's a little bit of spread. But still, we have 6R to the technical target. I haven't seen a trade like this in a minute. Looks like I was already highlighting this technical target, but I'm already short on this from the top. What chart are we using? FXCM. Let's see if we have a position here. Short position, that's that one. I definitely should have the position on here somewhere. No, that was from before. Oh, right here. Wow, that's not clean at all. I can't remember. We entered like somewhere around here. Something like that. So we have both these positions running. I don't know how that this Forex pair just decided to be so clean. Maybe I'm on the wrong chart here though. I've been using both these charts, both the forex.com chart and the FXCM chart when I'm in a play like this. I want to see, because forex.com wasn't as clean as FXCM up there. It actually deviated the low and a lot of nonsense. I think we have our official short position on here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. This is how we started it. Let me know if you guys are in this macro play. Let me guys know if you guys are in this macro play. I feel like I have been in this play my entire life. It's been so long, but I think we have finally gotten our redistribution that can push price to this technical target. And I'm expecting a sweep of this low at 2.1679. But Black Jay says just the local one, not the macro. Nice, bro. Yeah, this is such a high probability trade for me. Just given every factor, and we'll kind of clean up these. I was sending a photo. Sometimes, guys, honestly, these labels they changed the way that I trade. So sometimes I will have them on there. They kind of changed my mind. Does the rollover on FX eat a lot into the profits if you hold for long periods of time? I'm honestly not too sure about that. I believe I'm protected from that a good amount because I'm trading on a prop firm. To be honest, I think if I was on traditional brokers, that would be a lot more of an issue. But I'm trading on FTMO and Bright Funded for my Forex ventures right now. So I don't believe that there is too crazy of fees or anything on any trade, really. Yeah, Black J, you can ask your question. Yeah, swap free accounts. Yeah, I'm using the swap free account on Bright Funded and FTMO, whatever it's called on FTMO. But this is not an official position here. I don't know exactly what was going on with it. But let's get it out of the way. Let's actually just delete it. I'm just gonna go over GBP NZD and then I'm gonna end the stream, but we're gonna do a lot more streams. Obviously this was a sporadic stream. I didn't post it anywhere. I was just honestly fucking around trying to figure out how to even stream and how to use OBS. So that's kind of how we arrived here. But when you get a redistribution, we saw it on Bitcoin. We see it like over and over with these macro models. I want to just trade these as just like my bread and butter setups. When you have a clear order flow objective of coming to a range low of a higher time frame model, it's just literally chef's kisses. Like we were coming down here in a nice fashion, and then I want to see the highest time frame market structure that I have marked here. I think it is the 8-hour. Yeah. So on the 8-hour, you get an SFP of that market structure, and then you literally just SFP all the way up. I'm not going to put like all the X's, but literally everything across is just an SFP of that market structure high. So I originally was in on this model, and I traded this model that ended up being the buying climax of our model. This original starting point becoming preliminary supply, PSY, of the Wyckoff model. But this model, I traded it actually right here for the Model 2, ended up coming down and then went higher. I know a trader in my community who traded this model, which hit the technical target and then kind of went over into an interesting Model 2, if you will. There's like, it's not really what you would want, but it ended up working out, and it just, price wanted to create a bigger range. I've seen this a lot where I have an idea, but then I don't stick with it. I'm very aware of that now. So it's easier too, because we've been in this macro play forever. So, because I probably wouldn't check this pair like just ordinarily, but we went into this macro model, and then I was watching it on the open here, and something about my Wyckoff journey is I've started to really love to identify, I guess, springs, UTADs, and tests, like how they interact. They always have a very, very interesting interaction, or they're not even there. So in this case, normally you get that upthrust, and then you will get a test or spring in an accumulation, but you get this test like super close and like decently fast. But normally when you see that, now your model becomes a lot higher probability, because it's just another way to identify the Wyckoff kind of model being truly, truly crafted right there, truly spawned, as I like to say sometimes. Same goes for the PSY, just another thing. I like to just stack as many confluences that my Wyckoff model is forming right there. So this is an interaction. Obviously, you don't have that on Model 2s, but if you can identify these interactions between upthrusts and tests, it's super nice. And then the test normally creates supply. So on the market open, we gapped up. There was a gap here. We gapped up, and I was watching it, and then shout out Boyan. The Boyan highs. I know some people don't like to say it or whatnot. I kind of like the terminology, so I'm kind of just rolling with it. Boyan high, sell off aggressively, and then you actually did break structure here, fully confirming the upthrust right here. So that was super nice. Also, every point is kind of doing its job. Didn't even say it, but the buying climax here, which was a range, also broke structure, which is, Lars Kaustra, creator of TCT, he talks about like, fake break to create a range. And that is great, and it's normally that buying climax getting confirmed. Normally want to confirm all Wyckoff points with a breaker structure. So yeah, had that test, left test supply, which I believe was 3-hour supply. Yeah, it's a little weird with the gap, but pretty clear 3-hour supply. And then we put in an LPSY right into it. Created liquidity right here, a little bit of a more fast move up, not really creating any demand. And it just unfortunately came at 5 a.m. my time. I'm not on the charts. I'm on New York time. Let me just check the chat. Oh, Blackjay, saw you started adopting the Wyckoff model labels during the middle of the foundation challenge. How did it change your trading, or what models you took? Yeah, so super, super interesting question. And I feel like I kind of covered that actually already, just when I was yapping there about the models, but it really changed how I actually view them as Wyckoff models, and was kind of my ascension from just being like a TCT guy to being more like, okay, like I want to know more about Wyckoff. I want to trade Wyckoff. What is TCT actually? Well, it's simplified Wyckoff. And if there is more ways that you can identify your edge within the market, rather than just, oh, this thing has 3 taps, let me like trade this. I want to see like clear Wyckoff involvement, and I want to stack all these confluences. And so the labels was actually a huge part of my ascension, to be honest. I now, like, even if, and I wonder if Lars does this as well, but I see them in my head now. So even if I've put them on so many times, and I've seen so many models now with them. Obviously you can see a lot more, But I kind of just, even if I don't have them on and I'm just using like dots or whatever I'm using, I'm seeing them in my head. I will probably make some posts on X about that. I also have like some authentic takes about how to more easily identify and trade other parts of the Wyckoff model. Like in the Wyckoff model, there's like AR, which is automatic rally, and it doesn't make any sense to me, or it's automatic reaction, depending on distribution or accumulation. But there, and then they show this as like SOW, like in phase B, signs of weakness. But I'm kind of viewing like this whole area as just like an algorithmic automatic reaction or rally, if you will. And sometimes you get a model in here, sometimes not. Sometimes you see it after the fact, like a 3-tap or a 2-tap, but you can't trade it. But I'm just kind of viewing this all as just automatic rallies, just algorithmic range low, basically. That is because they're trying to create a bigger range. So little things like that. Again, that's kind of, I guess, my spiel about the labels and how it changed my trading. Really helped me, like especially like UTAD test, like identifying these different things really helps you see the models in a more 2020 vision, I would say, or just from a different perspective than when I was just studying TCT. That's for sure. After that, let's just see exactly what happened. But it was picture perfect, guys. We came up, didn't even faster move up, which is fine into that POI, but didn't even really leave any demand. Got that break structure right here. It's a little hard to put that on. Breaker structure right there. I was just sleeping though, and I didn't get on the charts till like 9:30 and whatnot. 9. We were like right here, just kind of waited for it to come up, and I'm just gonna grab that entry every day. It's not perfect, but trading's not perfect, life's not perfect. If I can still, this is only a cherry on top for me. Like if we are to come to this range low, I will make a lot more in my macro position. So this is kind of just a cherry on top for me, but it was something I had to take. And I thought it was super, super high probability. If you want every single little factor, you have the volume profile, like just absolute thing of beauty. Yo, I am seeing an elite member in the chat right now. Shout out ATV, welcome, brother. Sorry, I did not tell you I was streaming. I didn't know that I was going to be streaming. I was setting up OBS and then I just phantomly started streaming, and then I guess it was live for people and people started joining. So welcome. I was gonna throw this in the Discord, but yeah, welcome. I'm going to wrap this up. We've just been breaking down the GBP NZD trade, but good to see you in the chat. We're gonna do a lot more live streams, guys, and probably do some live streams with some other amazing traders that I have met along the journey. ATV being one of them. Shout out to you, brother. He's kind of ATV. Who's he to me is kind of the Wyckoff insider to my Lars, if you will. We and those are interchangeable. Obviously, it's just the first thing that came to my mind as we both came up studying TCT. But we've been through a lot of shit together, honestly, and we've been trading partners kind of from the start of the journey. So it's awesome to see you in the chat, brother, and we're gonna do some joint streams together in the future. I think it'll be amazing. I did a live trading video where we were trading ETH an Asia session, and he was in that video, and we do a lot of trading together. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing journey. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Let me know if anyone is still here, or if you guys have any last questions in the chat or anything to say, and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right, not seeing too much. I'll take another couple seconds though. Appreciate you too, brother. Appreciate you too. Maybe we'll get some music going on these streams as well. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Can you do Bitcoin analysis? Yeah, absolutely. Let's finish with Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin is at our POI. Perfect. All right, so let's zoom out on Bitcoin. Perfection. We got 618, just a little bit higher. So macro distribution here played out. I know this, we're going way back in time and we probably just want to focus on this local range, but that distribution is complete, and I'm watching for a distribution in this area because obviously this low is not going to get taken. Also, guys, let me know if you're using the Bitcoin USD chart or the USDT chart, and I have some things to say about that. Let's see, let's clean this chart up a bit. I wasn't looking to actively trade Bitcoin today, just given some things of yesterday and the placement on the chart, but I am looking to short in this area. So let's see, maybe there is even a trade right now. You know, I'm not too worried about any of these. We can even get rid of this demand. Bitcoin just respects POIs so cleanly. But I had a really good read in this area of the chart, but I've been, you know, not loving the price action too much in the rest of it. I didn't take this accumulation. I saw a couple people take this accumulation. Shout out Mountain Man. But it just didn't fit my eye. It was definitely more interesting reversed. But it didn't quite fit my eye. Let's see about Bitcoin locally though. So from this swing move down to the low, we're almost at our 618. So that's interesting. What about, that's the range. I'm not really, if this is the tap right there, I think it needs a little bit more time. Also, I saw someone say, did you take Sol? No, I did not take Sol. No. So 15-minute, you have hidden liquidity right here. We'll just put that on the chart. Not that I think it's anything too crazy of a level, but so we had like some sort of model, not really tradable, on New York today, hit the technical target of that, went higher pretty aggressively right into supply. So since we got a nice sell to buy, pretty V-shapery, maybe we can create a range in here. If we can create a range in here, and I don't know what it can look like. You know, it can look like a low time frame Wyckoff. It can look like a 2-tap Wyckoff. Let's see our zones in here. Maybe we can get some more fib confluence as well, because 618 is sat nicely of that whole swing move. But if we can, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Now this will be better fibs. So we've already hit we got the 786. It's not my favorite fib level, but definitely something to put on the chart. Let's move that over. So we kind of have higher time frame swing 618 right here, which we haven't touched. We have our local swing 786 right at that original range starting point, and that's kind of my target. I really am a fan of those original range starting points getting hit on Model 2s. Obviously doesn't have to happen, but I keep forgetting to check the chat. How's your Hyro challenge going, brother? Also, Alex, welcome. The Hyro challenge has been going very interesting. I started off really good on the challenge, and I honestly, it was mainly due to lifestyle at the time. I was nomading through South Florida, like just place after place. And I was doing a lot of like quests. I met up with Lars in Miami. We had a pretty crazy time. I did some other things. But I've only recently gotten settled, and I kind of burnt out last week because of it. And in that time, I was kind of falling into some negative thought patterns, and just like my trading just wasn't the best. I was sick, which I never get sick. And it was only for like a day or two, but it wasn't good. And so I'm going to drop an episode today kind of recapping the whole foundation, or not the foundation challenge, but the whole high road challenge, the start. And then the next episode will kind of be about the recent trades that I've taken, and that one will be titled Death by 1,000 Cuts, because that's kind of what the challenge has been. But we're still up in profits, and it really just takes one trade. We're still up in profits. So to answer your question, it's going good. Lots of learning experiences. TradFi has actually been better. Speaking of TradFi, let's maybe I know we're skipping around on Bitcoin, and we're gonna Trump weave back to that, but I just want to check something quick. How is our boy doing? Okay, he's really doing like all you could expect him to be doing. Google, holy shit. What a model. Are we stock traders now, boys? Are we stock traders? ATV gotta run. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, brother. We will chat later. I'll give you a call later. GBP is looking fine. Maybe I'll also finish about talking about XAG. I'm gonna post this on X right after this. USDT is at this POI. Guys, let me know if you use USDT inverted or not. I really enjoy using USDT inverted. I can't look at it any other way. Like I like just matching it right up to Bitcoin. Because obviously you can see it's like exactly like Bitcoin. But let's see, I want to get POIs for USDT and for Bitcoin to go a bit higher. I think we already have the POI. Let's make this a little lighter. I think we already have the POI, and it's probably this one. I can't remember. I did TA on this obviously days ago. Yeah, you got this order block as well right here. So that's a pretty nice level. That's a pretty nice level, and that sat right on, yeah, just a quick deviation of the 786. Actually doesn't have to. It can come in right into this first level, but yeah, let me just zoom out and see how I would feel about this. How would I feel about this? Because we are coming up, like, to my eyes, it's not like the cleanest ever distribution where I would be like, oh yeah, like let's short this like 100%. But you do see people getting bullish on the timeline again and saying like, oh, like I'm long here, like let's run it back up, like just nonsense, you know. Lots of time with the trades, I need to like visualize them. So what would I like actually like to see? Like if we just like came up, maybe deviated this, some sort of like really extra manipulation, maybe even like a fake break, then once higher, then break, something like that. I don't know. Obviously, hope that doesn't happen, but you know the market makers are playing crazy psychology games. So it wouldn't really be one where you can draw like a super clean return to zone, but this is Bitcoin on the higher time frame, and that's normally not the case, you know. So would I like it like this? I think so. I think so. Maybe even front run that just right into the 786. But you can obviously deviate it. So deviating that 618. Yeah, if we get this, guys, I will short this. Maybe we can use this hidden liquidity and we can kind of grind up during the day. When would I want this? You know, if it happens anywhere from Wednesday to Thursday, that would be fantastic, and we do get some sort of range in here. That would be the best, and we can look to short this back down and obviously target this low. Target this low for sure. Try to use 1 minus USDT dominance. What is that? 1 minus. Try to use 1 minus USDT. Is that a different chart? Let me know. Let me know. Give me some clarification on that. But yeah, guys, this will be my plan for Bitcoin. I don't know. I need a better hidden liquidity indicator. This one's kind of a little ratchet, but it does get the job done. Let's see if there's anything just like chilling up here. No, it will be lower time frame. See if we can stack like one hidden liquidity POI within our supply. That doesn't look good. But I am hopefully getting a nice hidden liquidity PO indicator. So if this is a bearish candle, this whole area can be, it's such a doji though, but hidden liquidity for a reason. No, it's a bullish candle. So no dice there. No dice there. All right. Yeah. 40-minute Hob right there. Sometimes with the Hobs, you have to, you got to use pretty interesting time frames, guys. Hidden liquidity for a reason. Like the more hidden, the more like people don't know about it, the better. But this is, to my eyes, you know, this is nice. And if you remember what I was kind of saying even earlier in the stream about the labels, you would have a slight PSY. You know, let me just, since we were on it. So you would have a PSY, which was this amazing range right here. Sometimes they are closer. I don't even know where this upthrust like came into, but it is the one to leave the POI. Obviously, we can also get a Model 1, but I don't know if I like that idea. Not married to the Model 2 idea, but if we are to put an LPSY in this area, 2 and 3, complete the model, that would be textbook for me. That would be, you know, that would be the Wyckofian logic just playing out perfectly. So yeah, let's look for a range here. It would add a lot more probability, I think, to this being the trade. Let me check the volume quickly because I think it's changed. Yeah, the volume, it's really nicely evenly distributed within the range, so giving credibility to the range, but it's not telling us anything that it's not a +1 really. It's not a +1 for the play. I've seen Bitcoin play out distribution models where this is the case. So it's not absolutely essential, but this is how I'm kind of viewing Bitcoin. All right, guys, I do have to run, but it's been an absolute, what is this? It says inverse USDT did take that range high. Model 2. Which range do you mean, brother? Also need to adjust my range here. What do you guys think of the color coordination? I've kind of like married to this color combo where on one chart, because I have it inverted, I have like this color scheme that kind of like matches, I think, like the Tether vibe, if you will. I'm kind of really liking it. I'm gonna clean the chart up now though. This chart trades just insanely clean. Like I wish I could trade this chart sometimes because it's just so clean with the way that it trades. Maybe you are referring to how the range is actually different on Tether, where you're saying we deviated this high and then created the range. Yes, that is a difference between USDT dominance and Bitcoin. But I don't think it changes the play at all. I was pretty big, and we can check it maybe. Let's check it maybe. Let's get rid of Google. Yeah, stocks, so much more chill, I think, where you don't have to check them after hours and whatnot. Super chill. But let's maybe give a check to the CD chart. Quickly invert. Whoa. Haven't used this chart in a minute. What do we have going on here? Let's see. All right. Haven't used this chart in a minute because it wasn't tracking for a bit, I think, in this range, but it was actually an SMT, so that can also help us. Does it take that high? No, it doesn't. So closer to Bitcoin, I guess. You don't have that PSY, but I don't think it's really that relevant. can even remove the SMT. Just know that this was an SMT. This chart did not take that high. What can we learn from this? We got that same accumulation. Is it potentially a little bit steeper? I don't know. They were both kind of steep. Initial range starting point. Deviation 1. Is there anything really to be gained by this? I think nothing really to be gained by it other than just knowing that the POI is also here on this chart. It's also here. Pretty nice. They're all kind of tracking each other really nice. Not too much. I won't really go into this chart too much. Call this chart CD. It's just combined dominance. It's just USDT dominance plus USDC dominance. With kind of the rise of USDC, and I'm projecting USDC to become even more relevant in the coming years. This chart makes a lot of sense to me because it's kind of like you're using USDT dominance and you're kind of like using DXY without like 20% of the money supply. You know, it doesn't make too much sense. So I do have a theory that over time we are going to see this chart kind of emerge more. And I guess we can kind of finish up with USD. I don't have that in my Confluence section. That's weird. Let's add that. It must be in some other section. But USDC, if you guys didn't see this, just insane. I haven't checked this chart in a minute. So what's interesting when, yeah, look at that hidden liquidity. Wick's above it, but still doing some work. Now when I look at this chart, I honestly don't know because this chart looks like it should be bullish. In which case the Bitcoin plan is not going to play out like this, and we're going to go a lot higher, and this accumulation is actually going to have follow through. And then maybe we'll come into these levels. That's pretty interesting. We got to trade it level by level. If we get confirmations in here and it's high probability, we got to take it. Because given like the actual charts being USDT, in my opinion. But it will be interesting to kind of follow this. And it's like if USDC has this accumulation, this is inverted, right? If USDC has this accumulation, but it fails to complete, how relevant is this chart to making your financial decisions? Probably not. Probably not too relevant. Does combined dominance makes me think we go higher? Does combined dominance makes me think we go higher than previous deviation of Bitcoin, as it's far from range high compared to Bitcoin. Combined dominance? Let me check. No, combined dominance is close, man. Set an alert. Combined dom is close. CD is close. The only chart that if you were meaning that, I guess what I'm getting at is with this USDC chart, like technical target is right here of this pretty nice accumulation. If it just fails, then what is this chart, you know? I guess we could check total here as well. Whoa, I don't want to invert total. Yeah, total looking the same. Total looking the same. I actually, I'll tell you guys a funny story. I never posted this tweet. I haven't looked at this chart in a minute, but I never posted this tweet. But my first day on X, if you guys know a guy named Crypto Nagato, he was posting a chart where, you know, we're just stairway to heaven, continuously fucking climbing, or right here. Yeah, we're just gonna like keep going. And I posted my chart of total, and he blocked me instantaneously. So that was my first day on X. I viewed it as a rite of passage, though. not trying to LARP out here. That's why I always keep it real, even when I'm not doing well, because, you know, I can't stand the LARPing. I really can't stand the LARPing. It's not for me. And I'll try. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll LARP max a little bit just for fun sometimes, with some other things. But yeah, if you're serious about it, like, it's really not okay. The last thing we'll check is total here, because we want to be thorough. Coming into that 12-hour order block, I think it's looking exactly the same. This chart is super clean. It's exactly like Bitcoin, unlike USDT dominance. So super nice. Haven't really been using this chart too much lately, but really clean price action. I don't think the only thing is like that USDC dominance chart, but I think it might just be a case of, hey, like, let's not use this as much if it doesn't play out. Hey, if it does play out and all of these fail and USDC dominance is the only one showing the way, then hey, we can have a different conversation. But yeah, exact same POI here on total. Let's see if we can find a refined POI. I think maybe we can. Yeah, and if this is the move up, that is the final. Yeah, we can definitely be. Yeah, I would be surprised, and it would definitely be harder to trade. You got that hidden liquidity also on total. Kind of have this as our last line of defense. Not that I need to watch like this chart, I don't think, too much, because our other charts are showing the way. Nah, I don't really like anything. This level is going to have to hold here. That level is going to have to hold, so I'll be interested. We don't have too much room on this total chart. Quickly check the fibs. Yeah, again, 786, same story. So same plan on all these charts, but it is there. If the confirmation does present, yes, we should trade it. If it doesn't, then we'll go level by level, and we will look for the next levels on Bitcoin. All right, guys, I wasn't even planning on streaming, but thank you to anyone who is here. I know we've been going for 45 minutes, but gonna be doing a lot more live streams, a lot more formal stuff. This was literally just me, you know, trying to figure out how to even stream. So, all right, guys, gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna post about silver on X. Look out for that. Just very quickly, our market structure from this low has broken back to bearish pretty aggressively, came into demand, created this range. Slight compression. It's not the cleanest compression. If we didn't have this wick, it'd be better. But just look for a manipulation phase right here. If we've already been building a return to zone. If we get the confirmations in this area, you know, this could be a pretty insane trade where, like, could maybe even get a rotation down this low. I have a macro playbook for silver, and it's posted on my X as well, where my plan is to trade an accumulation in this area that becomes an AR, automatic rally, of a bigger Wyckoff model, and or this was the high. I have the labels because I was pre-planning, you know, trying to be a lot of steps ahead. But it is funny to make that playbook and then see how price is progressing. I've never really been that pre-planned ahead, and there's been so many trades that I have missed. I got stopped out by a tick right here on silver. That was insane. I end up missing the accumulation. It was decently manipulated. Lars trade mogged me when we were in Miami. He was in that. He closed too early though. He closed on a local model, and we saw the follow through that model can have. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Like, silver has shown that it's going to give a lot of trading opportunities, And this is one of my favorite pairs to trade, guys. There's going to be a lot more trades. And shout out to Alex, who asked me about the Hyro challenge. Bybit just added silver. I know it was on Bybit TradFi, but that's untradeable on Hyro because you can only trade USDT pairs within like the actual crypto exchange, which makes sense. But they just added silver. So I'm going to be looking to take maybe a silver trade or two within that challenge. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for everyone who's here. This was a Major Lore first ever live stream in my career. So thank you to everyone who's here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, brothers.